The call came in the middle of the night. It was my dad, his voice trembling with an excitement I hadn't heard in years. Jieming, it's time. Xiaoling's at the hospital. I barely remember throwing on my clothes, grabbing my keys, and speeding over. The whole car ride was a blur of streetlights and prayers. My heart was pounding so hard I thought it would burst right out of my chest. I think my parents beat me there, because when I arrived, the entire family was already pacing the waiting room floor. My mom, Xiaoling's mom, my dad, her dad. Everyone was a bundle of nerves and anticipation. The air was thick with it. This heavy, hopeful silence broken only by the squeak of our shoes on the polished floor. Hours felt like days. We drank stale coffee. We made small talk that trailed off into nothing. We stared at the clock on the wall, watching the seconds tick by with agonizing slowness. Every time a nurse walked past, all our heads would snap up in unison. Finally, the door to the delivery ward swung open, and the doctor, smiling, walked towards us. "Congratulations," he said, and the whole world seemed to hold its breath. "You have a healthy baby boy and a healthy baby girl." The words hung in the air for a moment, and then the waiting room erupted, not in shouts, but in something far more profound. My mom was the first to break. She just covered her face with her hands and started sobbing. Not sad tears, but tears of pure, unadulterated joy. Then Xiaoling's mom followed, hugging my mom tightly as they both cried on each other's shoulders. My dad, ever the stoic one, had a glistening in his eyes as he clapped Xiaoling's dad on the back, who was openly weeping, a huge grin plastered on his face. Seeing our parents, these two families now truly one, sharing this moment of overwhelming happiness. It was everything. I felt my own eyes welling up. This was it. This was the moment our lives changed forever. Soon, they led us in to see them, and there she was, my incredible Xiaoling, looking exhausted but absolutely radiant. In her arms, swaddled in blankets, were the two tiniest, most perfect human beings I had ever seen. One in a pink hat, one in a blue one, our son and our daughter. I leaned down and kissed Xiaoling, whispering, "You did it. You were amazing." She just smiled, a tired but triumphant smile. The room was filled with a gentle, reverent "Ah." Our parents crowded around, their earlier tears replaced by soft coos and whispered blessings. Of course, the quiet didn't last long. The moment we got the all clear that mom and baby were settling in, the great gift competition began. My dad, beaming with pride, declared he was heading out to buy the grandest, most educational toys a baby could ever want. Not to be outdone, Xiaoling's dad immediately countered, "Nonsense. They need the softest, most luxurious baby clothes money can buy. Only the best for my grandchildren." They both dashed off, practically racing each other out the door, their friendly rivalry in full swing. We all just laughed. It was their way of showing love, this crazy, competitive showering of affection. Meanwhile, back in the room, a different kind of battle was brewing. My mom and Xiaoping's mom were standing by the bassinets, engaged in a loving, whispered negotiation. "Let me hold him first," my mom would plead. "I just want to feel his little fingers." Xiaoling's mom would gently retort, "But I haven't held the little princess yet. Just for a minute." They went back and forth, their hands hovering over the babies, their faces alive with the grandmother's love. It was so sweet and funny to watch. Xiaoling and I just looked at each other and smiled. This was our family, a little loud, a little crazy, but overflowing with so much love it felt like the room could barely contain it. Later that evening, after the grandparents had finally gone home to get some rest, I sat by Xiaoling's bedside, holding our daughter while she held our son. The hospital room was quiet, filled only with the soft breathing of our newborns. Looking at their tiny, peaceful faces, I thought about the journey that brought us here. From our first date to the awkward family introductions, the arguments, the laughter, the proposal, the wedding. All of it had led to this perfect, quiet moment. We weren't just Jieming and Xiaoling anymore. We were a family, a complete, messy, beautiful family. I looked at Xiaoling, my amazing wife, the mother of my children, and my heart felt so full I thought it might burst. I love you, I whispered. So much. She looked back at me, her eyes shining. I love you too. In that moment, everything felt right. The world outside, with all its noise and complications, simply faded away. There was only us, the four of us, the beginning of our new chapter. As I sat there, just soaking it all in, my phone buzzed. In my pocket. I almost ignored it, not wanting to break the spell, but something made me look. It was a call from my brother, Jiejun. That was strange. He knew where I was, what was happening. He wouldn't call unless it was important. I picked up the phone and stepped quietly out into the hallway. Jiejun, is everything okay? I asked, my voice low. There was a pause on the other end of the line, a heavy silence that immediately put me on edge. Then his voice came, strained and serious. Jieming, he said, we need to talk. I have something I need to tell you.